Hello, this is Helen Macmillan
And Matthew Gordon Martin.
from Helen Macmillan Coaching, and welcome to another edition of The Breathing
The
Space.
breathing space. It's a space that we're now creating for some of the conversations we have behind the scenes that we know would be useful to include anyone in to get different perspectives, our perspectives, so you start to see how we approach the work that we do.
Yeah. And also designed to help you to pause, reflect, and shift, because that is what we're about. So this morning, what's on my mind, and the discussion that we were having is after witnessing yet another senseless killing of a Black American man by a policeman, and also watching the videos that is now viral of the woman in Central Park who called the police because a black man, she felt a black man was threatening her life by recording her on camera because he told her to put her dog on a leash. So it brings up for me what I know that we address all the time. We talk about the fact that we are conditioned to address the pain, right? The pain in our life. The pain pushes us to take action. And actually, most of the time, we're not even acting, we're reacting to the pain, right? We're taught to medicate it, to distract ourselves from it, to numb it in some way. And so we know that the pain is here to serve. The pain is here to serve us, right? And yet, the pain is a symptom. A symptom. So it is here to serve us by guiding us, by getting our attention and letting us know that something is asking to be shifted, to be addressed, to be acknowledged, to be released. But something, it's a symptom.
And
And
I would say that it's a one moment where instead of saying right, wrong, because the first word that came to mind was that something is wrong, but something is not aligned. Something is off,
yeah,
off kilter. Something is requiring a change
mm-hmm.
in order for us to work at our most effective, efficient, with greater ease. And pain is here to serve us in
Yeah.
a great way, yet we've not really figured out how it's here to serve us. We bought into exactly what you're saying, the pain relief mentality, rather than finding a cure. And it is trying to, cure an STD and give yourself Tylenol, right? To take away the headache or the pain. It's like, why we don't do that. We don't do that because we know it is life threatening. And what is being highlighted here now is can our emotional pains be life threatening?
Yes,
Can
yes. But you know what else, Matthew? What is really interesting? Because when a dear friend called me this morning in tears. She's white American, and she couldn't sleep last night. She was so profoundly impacted by watching the video, and she's an empath like me. And by the way, if you're an empath watching this, if you are white and you are an empath and you already know and understand this issue and feel it deeply, do not watch another video. Please love yourself enough. You don't need to do that to prove to anyone that you care. It is an act of self-abuse to do that. So that was an aside. However, the point is that it is, as I told her, I said, everything right now during the time of COVID is amplified. And why is it here? It's here for us to stop placating and ignoring the symptoms. We need to
right?
actually now address them, but deeper. We need to go deeper. That woman in Central Park was simply triggered. When we are triggered, we regress to our innate patterns, to our habitual conditioning. And that is why the inner work is the only way that we are going to make sustainable and lasting change. Each person, each individual has to take the responsibility of doing their own inner work. Some people might find this controversial, but here is why I'm grateful to Donald Trump. don't like the man, don't like what he stands for. But very early on, when he won the election, I sat there and I said, what's right about this that I might not be seeing? And I went in and I said, what do I hate about this man? And I saw it was his prejudice, both against women, against people of color, against people of a different race and nation, a bit different people of different social strata. And I said, what is it? And I said, oh, I hate his prejudice. And I went inside and I looked in myself and I found my own prejudice. And I often, in just seeing it, it's enough to start changing it. And I got my gift. And as a result, I could actually watch that man take office. And I saw some things that were really important for me to see. But here's the thing, you see, if you're someone who's watching who really wants change in this nation, and especially you want a different president come November, you better do the inner work of figuring out what is the message for you that this man brought? What is the gift he brought for you? Because until you get it, you're going to have him for another 4 years. Until we as a nation I think his biggest gift to this nation is actually bringing this prejudice that has always been there. It operates in Black people, in white people. It doesn't matter the color of your skin.
Yeah, and it's interesting because it's ingrained in a way that I don't even think some of us recognize. It's a tough conversation that I think many people don't realize. When did we pick up the conditioning of seeing a person of color walking across the street and in a dark alley, and that triggers fear? It's scientifically proven that you don't even have to have had a violent experience with that.
And you don't have to be white. I have that experience, and I am a person of color, right? So it's not unique, and we have to understand that slavery did not just impact Black people, and this legacy of slavery lives on in our DNA in many ways. White privilege is a symptom of slavery. The not enoughness that so many Black people feel is a symptom of slavery, and yet we technically are free, but we're not free here. So we have to do the work of getting ourselves free here. Anyway, we're trying to keep these short. So hopefully we gave you some food for thought this morning. Any final words this morning before we close, Matt?
I'd say that it's inspiration right now to pause and reflect on what pain that this triggers for you. Whether you watch the video or not, it's a knowledge of continued police brutality, it doesn't matter. Yes, great that they were fired, these policemen, but that's also just dealing with the symptom as they come up, as a flare-up happens. What are we actively doing right now to solve the deeper issue? Not making anyone right, not making anyone wrong. Let's figure out what's going on within us and how we can shift that so that this is not a consistent experience that we're having. So we can move beyond the pain and experience life more abundantly, more joyfully.
With greater connection, authenticity, collaboration, peace, joy. It's here. We can have it. We have to do the work to get there. And we have to take 100% responsibility for doing our work so that we can respond differently instead of reacting from our conditioned, habitual places. This is Helen Macmillan.
And Matthew Gordon Martin.
From Helen Macmillan Coaching, wishing you a fabulous day. Please leave your comments below. We want to know how you feel. How are you impacted? Leave us a comment below.